is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
To return some videotapes. 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 Videotapes.
Welcome back to Strange Glow Video on the Ecto Violence channel. I am one of your hosts, Alec. Here with me always is Justin.
Hey, how's it going?
It is going. I'm liking how this switch of my room looks.
Yeah, you got it very dark in there. I have my room very bright right now. I just did an unboxing video for the Nintendo Switch 2, so my oldest son got that for his birthday, and he wanted me to do a video.
Sick.
Before he came over. He's like, "Can you do an unboxing video of it?" I'm like, all right, man, I can do that. So just filmed that right before we started. So
That's
usually
funny.
It's a little bit darker in here, but yeah, the light in here right now is crazy.
Yeah, I try to set the mood a little bit. You got the pink
Mhm.
lighting and the purple and the blue, basically.
Yeah.
Basically bisexual lighting, if you want to be
I mean, it
technical
is
about
Pride Month, so you may as well take advantage of it and enjoy yourself.
I had rainbow lighting on my 15 queer horror movies to watch this month video.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, it's a pretty sick list. I did a couple Jurassic Park videos since we last spoke. Working on Lost World Jurassic Park VHS review tonight after this. Some more. I watched it last night, recorded it.
Okay.
So,
nice. How'd that go?
pretty good. Have mostly good things to say about that movie as well. And even a couple things to talk about. Like, I'm not going to talk about it here, but just because it's going to be in the video, but like Ian Malcolm's personality change that everybody seems to have a problem with. And I don't have a problem with that, and you'll see why in that video.
Okay. I mean, his personality changed in the book, too. So, anyone that knows how to read, if you haven't read these books, I'd highly recommend it. Yeah, so lots of stuff going on. We had Ghostbusters Day this weekend.
Yeah.
That was pretty exciting. We're huge Ghostbusters fans. They did an event up at the Firehouse Hook and Ladder 8 in Tribeca in New York City. They always do a big fundraiser up there every year, so it's been getting bigger and bigger every year.
Who knows? Maybe we'll try to attend one year. It's just that there's always so much going on, and we're not rich. And we don't live in an area where we can just try to easily make that happen and stuff. And you've got kids, and so there's lots of things to consider here.
Just making up there for Ghostbusters Day would be awesome. I'm thinking for the 45th anniversary, it'd be cool. Just give it a couple of years, but who knows? We'll see.
I'm thinking I might try to do it next year, but just for like YouTube coverage, even if nothing else. But we'll see if I can swing that, because then you could always tag along.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to go, but like you said, with kids, like that's right into early summer. It's right between both of my kids' birthdays, so
yeah,
like it worked out fine for FanFest. That wasn't a big deal when we got out there for that, but I feel like it's got to be something worthwhile going on. Like this year is pretty cool because they had a couple of stars from the movie. You know, they had Carrie Coon, McKenna Grace, and Jason Reitman stop by, and then some of the usuals that are local out there that came through. The Alisi brothers were performing out there, and a couple other artists and stuff, and obviously regular artists as well. We saw that Yes Have Some did a live show on Friday night, which looked pretty cool. Looked like everyone had a good time. I'm happy for everybody. I actually was busy watching Bill Murray on Friday night, so he came through Kansas City with Bill Murray and his Blood Brothers, and you know, thought that was a pretty good show, kind of blues and jazz stuff. So it's really strange seeing Bill do music like that because Dan's been doing it for so long. And I was like, that actually would be a pretty solid tour of this group with the Blues Brothers or something like that. Like, it'd be pretty cool to see them perform at the Joliet prison Blues Brothers Fest that they were doing. They did it one year, they skipped a year, and they brought it back last year. So that'd be cool to see.
Yeah.
Found out some crazy stuff though. I think they only had like 20 like meet and greets, and that was interesting. So
How much
the
were
venue
those?
post
Did you even find out?
they didn't even have the price listed. They were real sneaky about how they released those. Like I feel like anyone that got them was probably clicking on their website every day, but I'm not sure. I mean, I have no idea. Like I bought tickets the day that I heard about it, and I didn't see anything about even being able to click on and buy the meet and greets that day.
Yeah.
And then when I was double checking a couple of days ago before the show, like the meet and greet was on there and it gave you a link to click, and then it said sold out. But later that day it said sold out, like when you're on the splash page, so you couldn't even click it to try to buy tickets, which was different than it had been that morning. So I don't know, but I think they only sold about 20 meet and greets.
Dang.
And I don't know if I mean, obviously you're meeting Bill Murray, but the meet and greet was supposed to be at 5:30, and they emailed all customers that had bought tickets. One of the crazy things about that was that they sent an email saying, "Hey, the meet and greet's at 5:30." Well, we had to move it because of scheduling issues or something to 7:45,
Yeah.
which is 15 minutes before the local opener played. And I think they got through everybody in 15 minutes. Like they made it a big deal when you're like going in for general admission. Like if you're part of the meet and greet, go this way. And no, he's not doing any autographs, so don't ask for autographs and stuff like that. So I was like, all right. I mean, that's kind of what you expect with these things. So I don't know.
Right.
I really wanted the meet and greet, but at the same time, it's probably way overpriced for just literally getting like two minutes in a photo op, because it was really basically just a photo op is what it was.
For Bill Murray, it's like I would pay 200 tops for a photo op. And that's like if I would have went and we could have split that or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that was the meet and greet was per person. It wasn't even a photo op, right?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like it
So,
would be
yeah,
like $600 to
sketch.
come backstage for 5 seconds and say hi.
Yeah. No, to me, man, I think you'd be better off like just hanging out where Bill Murray haunts and hangs out in his free time.
Haunts, I like that.
And just kind of try to catch him in person, because like all the Bill Murray stories are amazing. Like he has a good time with all that stuff, but I don't think he likes the pressure of having to do those things. I think he likes just being able to be natural, which
You got to
when
go to
he's
some
playing a
baseball
show-
games.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he was having a hell of a time when he's performing, man. You could tell he was really enjoying himself, having fun. Played the bongo drums and tambourine quite a bit. He sang lead on, I think, maybe 5 or 6 songs. I didn't really count. I wasn't like, let me jot down notes of this. I was just kind of trying to live in the moment there and enjoy the show. But
That's funny. You know
Yeah.
who I wish I would have seen go on, when they went on a tour?
Who's
One
that?
time they went on a musical tour was Conan O'Brien on his what was it? The Conan O'Brien Won't Stop tour. After
was that? Oh,
no, it was the Conan O'Brien is prohibited from being on
Prohibited.
television tour.
Yep. Yeah, because of his non-compete clause with NBC.
Dude, I would have killed to go to that.
Speaking of Conan, though, Jimmy Vivino was there on guitars and organs, so that was really cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
And he was playing a Hammond B3 organ with a Leslie speaker, so that was dope. When I was watching him play that, I was like, "Oh, that's cool."
I used to have a Hammond with a Leslie speaker. I miss it because it had just like a
Yeah.
guitar, regular input jack that you could plug shit into.
Yeah.
Didn't even have to like wire shit up. They knew.
Yep, they know what you're doing. Yeah, so that was my Friday night. Saturday, you always have some FOMO and stuff when you see people doing cool stuff, but it was raining in New York and I had other stuff going on, so I was fine. We can chat about a couple of the announcements real quick though. Like Hasbro's releasing their Proton Pack 84 version for $300, so that's $100 less than the HasLab was for the Spangler pack from Frozen or from Afterlife.
Right.
It's so fascinating watching like fans of this stuff lose their fucking mind with hate and anger
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's people that bought the HasLab that modded it back to an 84, and they're like, HasLab said they would never do this. They're a breach of contract, yada yada yada. And it's like,
You didn't read the fine print, bitch. And
yeah,
also, it's a
and
different product by a lot of metrics.
so many metrics, right? When you look at, they updated several things on there. There's way less stuff on it. So yeah, this one's kind of a mass release. The other one is too. So everyone that bought multiple, I mean, I get it, but I mean, I've got 3 proton packs here right now, and I'm working on a 4th. So anyone complaining about them, I'm like, just get another one if you want. All right.
Right? That's what they should be being like, oh, sick, I can get another one for $300. It's like really good.
Mhm.
Now I didn't get a HasLab pack, and I was like, oh, I might get one of these. We'll see.
Yeah.
But
And then we saw
those Ecto Glows, which we already knew about, just the regular guys were coming back.
So there's a 4-pack of the Ecto Glows that are going to be released through San Diego Comic-Con. There's going to be the Ecto 1 Ecto Glow, which is brand new. Never a vintage thing. They also hinted at, which I don't even know why they hinted at the timeline. Like, just they must not have had prototypes or something. But, you know, they're going to have a glow-in-the-dark Stay Puffed or an Ecto Glow Stay Puffed and Slimer.
Which
And then
is pretty sick if you ask me. I like picturing those in my head. Like, I'm getting both of those for sure.
well, when you think about it, the fact that they waited so long into the Ghostbusters line to do glow in the dark with ghosts, because they had the pack-in ghost that came with the ghost trap. The ghost trap had glow in the dark doors, and the little jail jaw ghost that came with the ghost trap was glow in the dark. So you had a little bit of that in the role play toys, but not as much as you should have for a line like that just lends itself to glow in the dark.
I was trying to think if there was anything in Extreme Ghostbusters that glowed in the dark, but I don't think there was.
I don't think that toy line kind of missed that mark too.
Look, did that slime that came with the one glow in the dark? That would be the only thing, but I don't think it did. But
and then I don't know the availability of all these Ecto Glows, right? Because the 4-pack is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Like, why would you create a brand new Ecto 1 that they don't even have a prototype for? They literally just had like a cutout of it. It reminded me of the Matty Collector Ecto 1 reveal they did back in the day when they tried to crowdfund that. So I think the 4-pack may be an exclusive thing to Comic-Con, but I think maybe a general release or, you know, Hasbro Pulse release will be fine there. And I'm fine with them not having those in stores. Like, I don't need to pick that up at stores. Like,
as long as it's not like super limited and hard to get,
yeah,
I don't care if I have to buy it online. No, but I want to be able to get all 4 of those figures. I want to get, honestly, probably the entire Ecto Glow line, and that is saying a lot because I don't buy toys anymore, and you know that.
Yeah. You pretty much, you've transitioned away from buying toys. Hell, even before Frozen Empire. Did you even get anything from that toy line?
Frozen Empire. Well, I did win the HasLab like throwout package, so I got 2 of the Fright features that were re-released.
Okay.
And then I got a couple of the mini figures, and you gave me a couple of the like I think extras you got like for the little containment trap minis.
Oh yeah, yep.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I didn't get too much, but I mean, I have some of the cool stuff still. Like, I think the coolest stuff I've got for Ghostbusters toys in the last few years, like in 2020 specifically, I got that Sam Hamm and Janine soft goods pack, and then I got those Spectral Ghostbusters, and those are some of the favorites
the
that I
Diamond
have.
Select ones, yeah.
Yeah. But then, you know, the Egon, the family that busts together, like, that's a sick fucking figure too, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's one of my favorites that they've made in the last few years, and it's just a bummer because that line is really cool, and I would probably buy a little bit more of that, and it's crazy.
The Plasma series, man, and it's the same issue we've always had with Ghostbusters is when you're tooling toys, it's cheapest just to re-release the same things you kind of already have. So you come out with one, you know, and we saw that with the Matty Collector line. We're seeing this again, but the
aren't the Ecto Glows for the most part, except the heads,
they're literally
the same?
They're Wave 1 Real Ghostbusters line besides the masks they come with and the paint job.
Yeah.
So the tooling's already done on that. But I mean, as far as the rooftop, whatever they're calling that 4-pack,
Oh yeah, yeah.
which is misleading too, because this is different than what Hasbro had talked about before, which I mean, I guess it makes sense if you want to appeal to a broad audience, but these have new face sculpts, head sculpts, and the uniforms are darker again. And I just don't know what is wrong with their coloring of their jumpsuits. Like the first wave they released were way too light. The Afterlife ones were the best looking ones they did, but they also were like a darker khaki color. It felt like more like Ghostbusters 1 colored flight suits. And then they fixed the color on the regular jumpsuits a little bit for the slimed glow in the dark hero figures they did of the Plasma series.
Yeah, I never got those either. I kind of was interested just because of the glow in the dark, but now that they're re-releasing Ecto Glows, I'm like, all right, good. I'll just be good with these.
Yeah, I've got a set of those just because I was kind of trying to scratch that Ecto Glow itch without spending $4,000 on 4 figures. You know what I mean? Those things are insanely priced on the secondary market right now.
Yeah.
Which, fascinating. But it makes me wonder how many toy collectors have their shit insured properly. Because, like, if you got $4,000 worth of real Ghostbusters toys, I hope to God you got good fucking insurance on that. Because I don't know if your homeowners are going to cover that if you have a fire.
Well,
like protecting jewelry and shit in your house.
That's what I'm saying. You have to declare all that kind of stuff when you're signing up for that insurance. If you don't have the proper insurance on it, yeah, then you're fucked to some degree.
Yeah, but how many collectors out there do you think are going out there and spending $4,000 on that, not thinking about that, and then you're like one fucking tragedy away from like not only losing that, but having no repercussion to ever try to buy it again?
Yeah. I don't have anything that's like super crazy expensive. I don't think like that. Like, not really. I mean, I got a couple things that might be worth a couple $100, maybe, that I don't know about even. Like maybe I bet that Lost Boys tape I have with signatures on it's worth a couple $100, you know. But like, I'm never gonna get it appraised because I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's my collection. I'm not trying to sell it right now.
I want that thing. It's mine.
Yeah, the other Ghostbusters Day news they had was really just kind of limited to that rooftop 4-pack, I think. Mondo's delayed their release of Peter Venkman and Sam Hain figure set again. I saw it today, which those figures are just way out of my price range right now. Like,
laughable.
People that are complaining about a $300 Proton back from Hasbro with lights and sounds.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at a $100 per figure set from Mondo.
Insane.
I'm like, yeah. And I feel like we're really approaching the nostalgia bubble crash, at least for my generation. Like your generation's coming right into theirs, the prime of it.
Well, that's the thing. It really depends on what era. Because for me, mine extends a little further back than most people who would be born in my era were. And that's just because, like,
siblings,
siblings and the culture of that stuff. Like 90s kids still grew up watching Ghostbusters. You know what I mean? Like in all those 80s comedies, they were just still part of the culture. Now they're old enough that they're not so much.
Yeah.
I mean, unless like people know what Ghostbusters is now just because they've been making new movies for the last 10 years and stuff. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, Ghostbusters Day was interesting. Like I said, some neat stuff there, but nothing that I was like, oh my God, drop what you're doing and spend all your money. You know, if you missed out on the Spangler pack, cool. Get the 84 pack because that's a nice looking piece. I mean, even the ribbon cable on that looks solid. Like a lot of the pieces look better, so I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
And then we had a couple other anniversaries go on this weekend. So,
well, we also have that real quick, that other ghost trap that's coming from that other. Is it who's making that? Is it Ruby's or Spirit
Halloween?
Okay.
Yeah, the one with the Smoke Kid had already released.
Oh yeah, but I mean, you know what I mean. It's like for this season, sort of.
Yeah.
I guess I should order one of those sometime.
Yeah, from what everyone's seeing on the reviews, like everyone was really happy with it. So I mean, I got the 2 in the box set, but I sold my PKE meter out of it because I like my Matty Collector PKE meter, and I was like, I could recoup the money on this and not have a PKE meter I'm not going to use.
Yeah. I have the Spirit
No.
Halloween PKE, and honestly, it's just good enough for me.
I mean, I've got one of those too, and they're fine. I mean, the
Yeah.
nice thing about having something cheap like that is if someone bumps into you when you're at a Halloween party or you're at a con or something like that, you don't have to worry about babying that stuff because it's not a crazy loss of investment. Which to
Yeah.
me, like for the weight and for the price of that 84 pack, like that's a huge opportunity because I think my primary pack is very heavy, very expensive. And if I wanted something I didn't have to worry about all night, I could get an 84 pack and be able to just throw that on and go out as is.
Yeah.
So just creates options for people out there. But Goonies hit its 40th anniversary this year.
Yeah.
Came out on June 7th, 1985. So 1 year after Ghostbusters came out. That year, the next year on that Friday release was June 7th. And yeah, that's a classic movie. Do you remember the first time you saw this?
I don't, unfortunately. With Goonies, we didn't own a copy, as far as I know, growing up. So I don't recall even seeing it as a child until my teenage years.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know for
So-
sure. I'm sure I feel like I watched it because there were parts that seemed familiar to me. Like, you watch a movie when you're so young that you like just remember one or two things from it. Like the Truffle
Sure.
Shuffle was familiar to me, and that could just be because it's a pop culture thing too. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way, I was like 15, maybe 14, and shit, yeah. That's a weird time to watch the Goonies because you're like, I had just started to like think that shit was cool again in some degree because it kind of was fashionable. Like, we were listening, like you'd be listening to bands and they'd have song references to all these 80s movies we watched and shit. So it was like, all right, this is
Yeah.
cool. It's not lame to like this shit. Fucking rock stars are talking about it.
Yeah, the band Set Your Goals has a song written specifically about the Goonies, and tons other bands reference it, obviously.
Yeah.
Uh, so I watched this a ton growing up, and our aunt owned it. And anytime we'd go stay with her grandma, we called her Granny. Anytime we'd go stay at Granny's house, our aunt would always bring movies over. So, if we're going to go over there and stay at grandma's house, she'd bring us a whole stack of VHS, so she'd ask what everyone wants to watch. And so, like, stuff that pretty much was a guarantee that she's going to bring over was Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Goonies, and I know those two we probably had to bring over every single time because we would just watch those all the time.
Yeah, it's actually funny. I remember the first time I watched Willy Wonka was at Granny's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was awesome. But, we come from a family of people that enjoy movies to many, many levels, like our level is here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I grew up with this movie, but this is one that, since there's only the one movie, there was never a toy line for Goonies, which is insane considering the year it came out. But I feel like the early 80s, like Star Wars had the market on toys. And I feel like some other mid 80s movies to like early 90s kind of missed the mark. And then after that, everything got a fucking toy line. Like, when did RoboCop come out?
What is that, 87?
1987? Yeah. So between the Goonies coming out and not getting a toy line or any type of like real merchandise to speak of, and RoboCop coming out, they had fucking action figures aimed towards children for a movie about a fucking man that is like basically shot to death, riddled with bullet holes, and then revived against his own will to become public property or private property of a corporation.
Oh, yeah.
If that's not dystopian, I don't know what the fuck is.
Have you ever heard of, from also 1987, as we're speaking of Goonies, merchandising, The Goonies 2? the video game.
Oh yeah, I have. Yep, that was one of the.
Fratelli's Last Stand.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. What's the plot here? The Fratelli family will frequently appear to pursue Mikey, with the exception of Pipsqueak, who vanishes when hit. Yada yada yada. It seems it's a NES game, so and it came out in 1987. But sounds like he plays Mikey, and I don't know much else about it than that. It doesn't say much about the plot here, but that is fascinating. It's one of those things I've come across in the wild before, and I almost bought.
Okay.
I didn't though, because it was like $20, and I was like,
Yeah, like that's one of those things I never played. You know, they had a lot of tie-in games too. That a lot of them were fucking terrible, but some of them were good.
Yeah, you never knew.
Yeah, so I mean, I just remember watching the Goonies a lot as a little kid, and then it kind of disappearing for a while. And I probably didn't watch it again until, I mean, I probably watched it casually if it came on or something, but I didn't like go out and buy the DVD when they first released it or anything like that.
Yeah.
But rewatching that, I watched this with the wife and my youngest the other day, and we all had a good time watching it. Made some homemade popcorn, sat down and watched it Saturday night. It was a good time.
Sick.
And that was on the 7th, the actual 40th anniversary of it, so that was cool.
Yeah, I checked out the Blu-ray I have on the 4K TV on the 4K player,
Oh, okay.
upscaled for the first time or whatever, like just the natural upscaling that those kind of things do, and looks really good. Like, I have a VHS copy somewhere, but it's a clamshell, and I think most of my clamshells are in storage right now just because I didn't have enough room for them here.
You're right, Jim. Goonies never say die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
it's funny that some of the careers of these people too. Obviously, Mikey's known for so much at this point, mostly Lord of the Rings, other than this.
Oh, Sean Astin, yeah.
Yeah. But also has appeared in so many, like Stranger Things recently, is really known for that too, again. 50 First Dates, his appearance in there is hilarious, and people always forget about that one.
Yeah.
Rudy is a famous classic, and Encino Man.
Mm-hmm.
Staple. I love that movie.
Well, I mean, look at Josh Brolin. Like, that dude's gone on to do everything.
Yeah. He did.
Ke Huy Quan is really having a renaissance in filmmaking right now and being cast and stuff. Like, he is so good. It's crazy that he left professional acting, was working only stunts for as long as he was, because he's been fucking amazing in everything he's done since then.
100%.
And then obviously you got Corey Feldman as Mouth. So
that's one hell of a career there too, at least throughout the 80s.
Yeah, man, that's a dude whose career came to a screeching fucking halt, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know if it was.
And so many people just hate him now, and I just feel bad for the guy, if anything. I don't hate him.
Oh, that's awesome. So Jim said in the comments that he got the Goonies box DVD signed by Sean when he was touring conventions for Stranger Things. That's awesome.
That is sick.
Yeah, I wish he would do more conventions, though. I mean, I don't think he's doing a ton of them right now, but that would be dope to meet him and get him to sign some stuff.
Right. I don't know what I would go with.
Oh, as you saying, as you're a giant Lord of the Rings fan, I would go Goonies all the way, but I've got a nice hang in my hallway. I've got a replica of the Copper Bones, a replica of the where's he going?
I got the this thing right here.
Yeah, Copper Bones, yeah. Yeah, the Copper Bones. I've got some of the doubloons they released. And so I've got a replica map. Now the replica map is all glossy and shit. Like, I really want to buy a piece of nice parchment paper and redo it by hand as a nice art project and something to do just to have around.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would take a little while. Like you have to map it out pretty perfectly, but I think you could do really amazing ones of those. So
Yeah. Um, who else we got? Anybody else interesting off the top of your head?
I mean, Jeff Cohen, who played Chunk, went on to become a pretty famous entertainment lawyer.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but like obviously with the 40th anniversary going on this year, there's so much going on. Like our buddy Kip, aka Let's Run Some Red Lights, has been living on the West Coast now, up in Astoria, and has actually been working with the house because they have a new owner for the Goonies house, and they're basically making it a tourist attraction essentially. Where before, like the last owners got really pissed off about people coming there for it all the time, did not like that. I'm like, why the fuck would you buy a house from a movie if you do not like that? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh yeah, dude. It's funny because that's a big problem for certain people, like the fucking Breaking Bad house. Good thing I don't like that show, but the lady who owns that house is like, there's just videos on her the internet. Like she has like constructed a whole ass fence up and everything, and is like spraying people with a garden hose and all sorts of shit. It's hilarious.
Well, yeah, because she also had people throwing whole fucking pizzas on the roof of her house all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that'd be annoying because like that's a whole fucking mess to clean up, and like what a pain in the ass.
Oh, for sure.
But at the same time, like you've got more value now because of that. So like sell it to a fan and make a shitload of money on it, right?
Let them just turn it into the Breaking Bad museum. Ain't that
Yeah,
hard.
that's what I would do. Like make it a thing. That way people can make money off it and have normal hours. That way people can go through and not piss off the neighborhood too bad.
These are the only kind of places that I would be okay with being turned into Airbnbs too.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't want places bought up to be turned into Airbnbs. B&Bs, that pisses me off. But like if they do it for famous places like this, I think it's okay.
Well, it's not even Airbnbs in general. Like I look over in my area where I'm at, and like so many of the houses are just being bought up as rentals, like year-round rentals. And it's like, why the fuck is corporations owning private property in neighborhoods fucking cool? Like, why are we allowing this shit? Fucking dumb.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, but Kip's been out there working on the house. I think they've got a documentary on the restoration of the house, and I think there's a separate documentary just on the 40th anniversary Goonies they're working on. So some really cool shit. I think hopefully we'll have Kip on to talk about it once he's at a spot where he can talk about some of this and they're like ready to do a little bit more. But he also did some really cool store layouts and stuff because Astoria is a huge Goonies festival, which is done by the city, which would be really cool to see too.
I was about to say, yeah, there's a whole trip I'm going to eventually make with my girlfriend where we're going to go see Twin Peaks. And we're going to also see Forks, Washington from Twilight. And it's funny, I was actually going to bring this up a second ago because the Twilight house, they just put up a sign like where the Cullens lived. They don't let people on that property anymore because they were starting to vandalize shit. I think they were carving their names in the trees and shit that like they do in the movie. So it's like, no, fuck off. You can't be doing that shit.
I mean,
take a few pictures.
If I own that house, I would literally start charging people to come by until I could afford to move to another place and then either sell that place or turn that place full time into a museum where you had a little bit of control of that.
Right.
But yeah.
$20 gets you an hour on the property taking pictures and then fuck off.
Yeah. Yep.
You fuck anything up, you're kicked off immediately. Just don't carve your name into shit. Ain't that hard. I don't know. No, I mean, because I like going to these kinds of places, and we've done it before. We've done quite a lot of that together now. So
yeah, we've done L.A. places, New York places, Waukee, Oklahoma for Twister. So I mean, there's just tons of places to go to and check things out like this. But yeah, you got to be respectful to it. But the fact that somebody bought the Goonies house with the intention of turning it into something that's for the fans by a fan is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right. Could you imagine that in California if someone like turned Marty McFly's house into like a little Back to the Future setup? Like that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's so many cool things. We're doing I don't know. At least I'm for sure going. We'll see if you end up going to that Child's Play 3 screening.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. It's on my agenda so far anyway.
Yeah.
So it's only an hour and a half or so from here, I think, which isn't terrible.
It's about 2 hours from us, but we'll probably just...
Okay.
We could swing by and probably pick you up or something.
Yeah, I'll have to see what the game plan is. But yeah, no, I love going and doing those types of things. And the 40th anniversary is a good time for that. But it is pretty cool that the whole city of Astoria like celebrates that.
Well, yeah, I saw that I don't know how long it's been this way, but the jail is now the county film museum or whatever.
Yeah, which is awesome. And they filmed, obviously, like you mentioned, a bunch of Twilight stuff there. Like some of the beaches from Twilight I actually used, were the same ones as for the Goonies, right? So just different angles and things like that. So
I
at
wasn't
least
aware of that.
That's what Kip told me when he was out there. When he first moved out there, he was saying that he's like, they get a ton of tourism for Twilight now, more so than Goonies. But with Goonies being an anniversary year, it kind of makes sense to start seeing that become popular.
There's a very popular beach scene in the first movie. It's probably was shot there, if I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
I know that the town of Actual Forks, Washington, they shot a fair amount of stuff there. So if you go there, you can see a decent amount of it. But obviously when they do that, they shoot all around, kind of just like with Twin Peaks. It's like you can go 30 miles in each direction and find shit they shot at.
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially what we did with Twister, right? We went out around and saw a ton of places they shot at that were close, an hour away or whatever. So
yeah. And we did it in Iowa too, and Ghostbusters in New York City. So, I was just looking at pictures of that LA trip because they were popping up, and I forgot that we went to the Reservoir Dogs diner and stuff.
Yeah, man, we did so much in such a short time for that trip. Like, it's hard to remember everything we did outside of FanFest because that was like the big event we were there for.
Well, it was like there's so many things in LA. What do we want to see? We went and saw Nakatomi Tower. Nakatomi Plaza, and we saw, which is Die Hard and Airheads, two birds, one stone there. We saw the Nightmare on Elm Street house, the Reservoir Dogs diner, the Ghostbusters firehouse, the Independence Day building. That was just kind of a happy accident, but...
Well, I mean, that was beautiful just because you're downtown LA and like tall buildings. Like, okay, perfect.
It was like right there too.
Love it. So, sequelitis, man. So Chris Columbus wrote this movie.
Yeah.
And for a long time, they've been talking like Goonies 2, I wouldn't think as long as like Ghostbusters 3 was, a conversation, but there's been plenty of topics over the years.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is, man, dead ends, right? Because it's Spielberg, and so he produced it, and so I think he wanted to get it right if he was going to put his name on it, which, I don't even know in this day and age if Spielberg's newer stuff carries the same weight as it does with his older stuff, because he's just a drastically different filmmaker.
Yeah, but you've heard that it's like developed further than it ever has, right?
Oh, yeah. No, that's what I was going to say. It's like basically confirmed they're in development on it. The only thing that's interesting to me on that so far is that like Chris Columbus is a producer, obviously, so is Spielberg. So I'm just curious, like, what are they going to do with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It's got to be worthwhile, though. So, I mean, you say that, but it's one of those movies I never thought needed a sequel. So,
yeah, I don't know.
I never thought I would like to see those kids go on more adventures, but I'm like, how are you going to top that adventure? Is the kind of way that I looked at it. I like the ensemble cast. I like the group dynamics, but I never saw like an easy way for them to do something that would be felt almost feasible, right? The fact that they cut out that gigantic octopus from the original, I think helped ground it a little more into reality, at least in my mind, is like an adventure that you felt like you could go on as a kid. And I gotta say, I love the sets of this movie, man. The sets of this movie, like the big giant water slide, like this place should have its own fucking theme park. Like all that
Oh,
money you're gonna spend on making a sequel,
if I'm not
put that into
mistaken,
a Goonies theme park.
that like whole set with the boat and everything was the same set used for the rooftop in Ghostbusters, I think.
Yeah, because it's like one of the largest lots based on the
Yeah,
size.
because then it became Conan's set when he did Conan,
Yeah.
which is pretty sick. Fun facts,
Yeah, it's
because we love all of
it's
those, and we brought it all around because we talked about Conan earlier, because Jimmy
mm-hmm.
Vivino. Yeah, see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Goonies 2. I don't know how to feel. I'm not as crazy about Goonies. It's a comfort movie for me. I don't know as much about it as some people. Not that I wouldn't like to, because it's so good. The mood is so good. You know, like the best time I ever had watching this was, I want to say, back when I worked for Comcast, and I was just like on one of my days off. It was like I woke up early because that's what I did for work then. So it was probably like 9 in the morning, and I was just
Mm-hmm.
like, I got stoned on the couch and watched
You watch Goonies?
the Goonies, and it was like raining outside. It was the perfect vibe.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like that is such a it's a good fall adventure movie for coming out in June, like right. It's one of those movies like you get a cool rainy day in October where you're stuck inside, man, throw that movie on. It's perfect vibes for it.
Rainy days, yeah, rainy day movies, man. Goonies is like top of that list.
Mm-hmm. I mean, because it's all overcast and cloudy when they're doing the bike riding through town, and then they're sneaking into the old restaurant and everything. So yeah, it's such a good film, and it's so much fun too. I think that's why you can overlook it is it's a blast because they have teenage characters that aren't like too rude and obnoxious, right? The big brother brand is kind of playing like this role of like, oh, I'm not involved, but then like is reluctantly on the adventure.
Yeah. Well,
It takes part in it.
it teeters the line between actual like childhood content
Mm-hmm.
and like stuff like Stand By Me, where the kids are just like
Legit
hardened and
terrified of like,
filled with trauma and shit.
yeah,
Like, and they're just cussing constantly. Like these kids, like they swear every now and then, like you did because you thought you were cool as shit when you were that age. You're like fourth, fifth
yeah,
grade. You're like cussing up a storm when there's no parents around. You're
mm-hmm.
just hanging out with your friends out in the woods or doing whatever
Yeah.
the
You're
fuck you're doing.
saying what you want when you want. You don't care who says anything about it. Yeah, yeah. Those are the good old days, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, man. I had a good time watching this though, and it's one of those movies that passes on generation to generation. I think carries over pretty well.
Yeah.
Or like, well, you're not latchkey kids, like the no phone thing. I'm like, yeah, but you can suspend disbelief and just like relax and enjoy this. I think it's a good movie. So
Yeah. Phones change everything, but there's
I
always
know.
ways around that with movies, or
Mm-hmm.
like just make the movie take place in the 90s or 80s. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, exactly. Eliminate all that shit.
Demo says, I love Goonies for Anne Ramsey.
Oh, she is fucking solid. Mama Fratelli.
Mm-hmm.
She's good. She had a pretty good career too. Like she was. Oh, let's see. Let's look at her list. Oh yeah, she's in Scrooge. Woman in the Shelter. Yep. She's in there.
I'm looking now too because why not?
I don't think she lived a long time after this because her last movie credit's 89.
She's in Deadly Friend, the Wes Craven movie. That's Wes Craven. Yeah.
Oh really?
I haven't seen that one, but it's been on my list for so long because it's very weird. It stars Christy Swanson. Do you know who that is? She was Buffy in Buffy, the original movie.
Uh-huh. Yep.
It says its plot follows a teenage computer prodigy who implants a robot's processor into the brain of his teenage neighbor after she is pronounced dead. The experiment proves successful, but she swiftly begins a killing spree in their neighborhood.
Nice.
It's a Wes Craven movie from 1986.
Hell yeah, I have to check that out. I've not seen that.
Yeah, on TV, she's done a lot too. Three's Company, Laverne and Shirley Chips, Night Court, Alf. This bitch is on Alf. Actually, you know what? Now that I'm remembering she is on Alf.
Huh.
She's the episode with the dog. So she like shows up and claims that like this is my dog, and they're like,
Yep.
"Are you sure?" Like, and she's like, "Yes,
Yeah.
it's my dog. It's a dog, isn't it? That's my dog," and all this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking, there's one more place I know this woman from, and that was it. That was for sure it.
I mean, she had a long list of credits.
Yeah.
She was only 59 when she died. Like, she died in 88, it says. Man, that's wild because, like, she was so good in this movie. Like, just that, like, raspy smoker voice and, like, being mean, but also, like, trying not to get the kids. She had her bumbling idiots, but man, yeah.
Holy shit. I'm about to blow your mind.
What's that?
So, there's someone in this movie that appears in The Monster Squad and Die
Okay.
Hard and Ghostbusters 2 and Back to the Future 2. Mary
Fascinating.
Ellen Trainor, who is Mike's mother, is also Emily Crenshaw in The Monster Squad. Is she like one of their... You're more familiar with that one than... You've seen it more than me
Yeah.
anyway. Is that like one of the mothers
Yep.
in that too?
Yep.
Which is funny. Ghostbusters 2, she's Brownstone mother.
Oh, shit. She is, isn't she?
Yeah. Back to the
Nice.
Future 2, she's Officer Reese. And if that doesn't ring a bell, that's probably the officer that's, finds Jennifer.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. The cop that takes her home.
And then she was in Death Becomes Her, Forrest Gump, Congo. This woman's a legend. And she died in 2015 at 62. Damn. And she was married to Robert Zemeckis. Holy shit, bro. My mind's just being blown here.
I love learning new shit like this, though, man. It's just like that Wikipedia rabbit hole, like late at night. That's the type of thing that, like,
Yeah.
can't tell you how many nights, like, I just didn't sleep because I'd go down the wiki rabbit hole, like, read about one topic, and you find another fascinating topic, like, tying off from that. Yeah. Throw Mama from the Train is a masterpiece. All right, I'll have to check that one out because I don't know if I've seen that one. Have you seen that?
Is Danny DeVito's in that, right? I think I've seen it once.
Yeah,
Throw
he's on
Mama
the
from
poster there.
Okay, he is.
And
yeah.
Billy Crystal. Shit, how have I
Yes.
not fucking seen this? Man, this is good stuff.
Yeah, I've been
is she
aware
Danny
of that one.
DeVito's mom or something in this?
I think so. If I'm remembering
Okay.
correctly, it's both of their moms, right?
Yeah. I mean, when I think of Danny DeVito in an 80s movie or whatever, I just always think of twins.
Yeah. And then you've got Robert Davey, who is Jake Fratelli,
Mm-hmm.
and he's also in Die Hard. He's the FBI agent that shows up. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Think, like if you picture it in your head, yeah, that's
Yeah.
him.
He shows up to take over. Yeah, that's cool.
I'm whatever. I'm in charge here. Not anymore.
Yeah.
He was
nice.
one of the villains in License to Kill.
Interesting.
He's in Maniac Cop 2, Predator 2.
Nice.
I know I've seen him in some other stuff, so that's why I'm looking here. 'Cause he's continued to be in stuff, like even recently.
Man.
Let me see here. Was he in Alf also, maybe?
I feel like a lot of these people showed up in Alf too, man, but
Maybe not.
just
Okay.
one more reason to love Alf. That's such a classic.
Batman Begins. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I always forget, Ted Raimi's appearance in Alf as a mortician.
Oh, yeah.
Creepy mortician hitting on their daughter.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Man, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a movie, man. Like, I loved watching it again. I always have a good time watching it. I just feel like you want to go, like, have a lifetime adventure and I don't mean like the TV channel. I just mean like the adventure of a lifetime. When
Dude,
you
that's what
watch
I'm
a movie
saying.
like
Like,
this, it just gives you like that hope and optimism of like being able to overcome any fucking challenge in life, no matter how fucking good or bad things are. Like you can always do something really cool, and it's one of those movies that you know gives you hope. At least gives me hope. Like just
that's
watching it because
there's some movies that do that with their vibes. Like
yeah,
sometimes, like if I'm just like in a really bad mood, you have comfort movies, and there's movies that also I think just have a good vibe. Like sometimes I'll throw in just like a certain Marvel movies for that. You know what I mean? Because
hmm
they're extremely positive vibes in some of those movies, and that's
yeah,
really cheesy, but it's like they know what they're doing with that shit.
hmm yeah, they sure do.
And it calls back to shit like this half the time anyway. So
Yeah, yep.
Goonies is definitely one of those movies, though, that just hits.
Oh, for sure.
Always will. I'm just gonna be pissed when I'm an old person watching it, like you fucking little children. God damn it.
Yeah.
I'm old.
You know whose birthday it is today?
Uh, no.
Michael J. Fox turned 64 today.
When I'm 64.
That's pretty awesome, man. All the shit he's overcome too. And like Back to the Future is obviously one of my top franchises.
Yeah.
I could argue that that's my top trilogy. I know some Star Wars fans would say that's sacrilegious, but
Star Wars ain't even in like the top 2, man. Might even be number 3. I don't know. Lord of the Rings and Back to the Future, I definitely like both better than Star Wars. But
like that first Star Wars trilogy is good, but some of the other stuff does tarnish it, right? And that's one thing they've never done. They never went and did special editions of Back to the Future to go fuck things up or change it. So I feel like that was like the first. Now, at the time, as a kid, that was really cool, but as a grown up, like you see that like you lose the integrity of certain parts of the filmmaking with that, and I get it. Like if you're gonna do that, like why aren't they continually doing that? Like because you can make some of those scenes look better than they did for the special editions now if they did it again.
yeah. I
So
watched Revenge of the Sith last night, actually.
okay, how was that?
Solid. It made me want to
Yeah, they
watch
just
the
did
new
the
Obi-Wan show again, and then I was thinking I might do that again, and then check out the original trilogy just because it's been so long since I watched them. But I'm also
yeah.
thinking, I might try to get the despecialized edition Blu-ray bootlegs.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, since I got that set of CBS tapes from you, like I haven't watched those yet, but I need to because they're so different. You
Oh,
know,
did
make
I
the
give you a
kids.
set of those? Huh?
Did you give me a set or did I find a set? I can't remember if you found a duplicate because I didn't have one or not.
Yeah, I know that I have like 3 different sets. I have the original CBS Fox ones,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have like the early 90s ones that are like the black boxes with like, I think, Vader, a Stormtrooper, and Yoda's like faces on them.
Oh yeah, I've got that one too. Yeah, I've got that. That's the set I've got from you.
Oh, okay.
I just mean it's the unedited pre-special edition
Yeah, yeah.
trilogy.
And that one even still has, stuff like A New Hope added and stuff like that. Because they had immediately for home release were edited. There was no avoiding it except for like the very first. By the time 1980 rolled around, like if, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Then the first Star Wars was being fucking changed. But the
That is a movie.
laser discs are a great way to get copies. The thing is, the Laserdisc versions were also printed as a special feature on some DVDs as an extra disc in like 2007, I want to say, or 8, 9.
Oh, really?
And I have all 3 of them, but like 1 or 2 of them is missing a disc, and I'm like, fuck, because I used to watch them so much, the unspecialized versions.
That sucks.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to hunt them down on eBay because sometimes people list them and don't necessarily, know what they have with that shit. So
yeah.
they just get listed a ton. I think you can get them pretty cheap. I don't think
Well,
it's
that would be
worth a lot
good.
of money necessarily because there's so
I mean,
many
I
different
think
ways to get these done. And like I said, the despecialized like bootlegs are more popular, I think, now than that kind of thing.
I think that's just the easiest way for people to look for it. They don't necessarily think to look for something that's an official release, you know?
Yeah.
Because by the time the special editions were coming out, like DVD was like the next big thing. I mean, shit, I had a copy of, well, I had the special editions on VHS. I got that for Christmas the year after all three of them were out and they did the box set.
Yeah.
And then my buddy Joel had 2 copies of some box set or something of the Phantom Menace on VHS, so I got the duplicate copy that he had. And
Yeah.
I'd have no idea where those ones went. Like, I only have a handful of my childhood VHS, and I don't know if I didn't even take them all out with me, so I have no idea.
I have, well, when I went to go get Phantom Menace when it came out, I remember Mom bought me the VHS and not the DVD, even though we were buying DVDs at that point. I just think it was probably more expensive, and she was like, nah, fuck off, I don't care. But I had that for years. I don't know what happened to it, but now I have it again with the slip, and I have Attack of the Clones VHS. But Revenge of the Sith did not come out on VHS. So you can find bootleggers who make it and it matches like, you know,
Phantom Menace. The other two.
Yeah, which I want to get one of those just because of that. Like, I want that completed, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that would make sense. Because if you did 2 out of the 3, why wouldn't you do the third on that format? I mean, that's the reason why DVD is still so popular. DVD is so cheap.
Yeah.
Just because so many people have a DVD player that never upgraded to a Blu-ray player or 4K player, and so all these things, and that's why DVDs are still so readily available.
Well, you know, you ask any regular person, do you think vinyl's making a comeback right now? Is it big? I gotta say, yeah. What do you think about DVDs? Oh no, that's dead. Well, DVD sales are higher than vinyl sales, so congratulations.
Yeah.
I did a whole video about this and actually compared like all the sales and shit in one of my videos like a couple months ago, and I was surprised what I learned. Because, you know, as soon as 4Ks were introduced, that's when they peaked. They've been down in sales every year since. And I was like, that sucks.
Well, what sucks for that though is, and I get it, as a collector of physical media, you always want the best format you can get. Right, assuming you have a way to play it.
Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of us 4K people, at least, maybe my world's small because most of the 4K people I talk to are other creators, but like we are all very aware that we don't need everything on 4K. It's really more about the transfer. Blu-ray or 4K is fine if you want the best quality possible. And if you don't care about the movie as much, honestly, a DVD is going to be fine probably, unless the transfer sucked. But
well, for most people there, yeah. And then the quality, I mean, but the thing is, like, you can't tell me a 4K disc costs more to produce. It's just since it's the best format available, they're just going to charge you more for it. Which is such a scam anyway, because why can I go to the store and buy a 4K that comes with the Blu-ray and a digital copy, or a Blu-ray that comes with a DVD and a digital copy for less than or equal to the price of a digital copy that I may not have the rights to forever?
Yeah, you have a rented cloud storage copy, essentially.
Yeah, it's literally fucking scam for the way they do pricing of that. Same thing with like a video game. Like, I literally go to the store and this is something that's produced, and that's why I bought so many like Switch games for the kids on the actual cartridge, just because to me, if I'm going to pay the same fucking price for a game, why won't I have the physical fucking thing to keep it in?
Also, you can sell physical games.
Yeah, you can't sell your digital copies.
Nope.
I mean, in theory, I guess you could transfer your email address and sell your whole catalog to somebody else if you wanted to go that route, but
that's probably against their policy.
It may very well be. Yeah, you'd have to be on the down low and discreet about it and shit, so who knows?
Well, yeah, I'm a physical media guy forever. I like digital stuff too, for convenience and for discovery. You know, like I use Spotify, I use Netflix, but I like vinyl, I like CDs, I like cassettes, I like VHS tapes, DVDs, Laserdiscs, fucking.
I
I
mean,
don't give a shit what it is.
that's why I was on vacation. It's like I bought a VHS, bought a cassette tape, still buying vinyl when I find something that I want on vinyl. So it's like, got to have all these physical things, man.
Yeah.
And take the good with the bad. But like, I don't have anyone fucking with my Blu-ray copy of any movie. Like, right, we've been hearing about that with Disney, or even movies getting released and then they're still doing FX cuts over the weekend. So by the time someone sees it the second weekend, they fixed to the last minute things weren't ready
Yeah.
because it's all stored on a server,
Alien
which is cool.
Romulus was fixed for physical
Yeah.
media. But
Yeah.
apparently the regular version was on Disney Plus. I literally did a side-by-side comparison, and they did look wildly different. And I was like, holy shit. Part of that is because of the compression of streaming. Even when you're streaming 4K, it's more compressed than the disc, no matter what.
Oh yeah, well, that is, I mean, and that's why so many physical media purists started with the audio files, because Blu-ray and DVD has compressed audio, but Blu-ray would give you the full audio track, and same thing with 4K. So if you want truly like a very fine, high quality home theater system, you want those versions because of that.
Yeah, and they started putting like that Dolby shit on Blu-rays, like in the mid 2000s, and I didn't even notice. Like, not all of them have it, but like,
yeah.
So it's like real crazy audio tracks. I don't know if people all know what that is, but like, when you go to the Dolby Digital Theater, I was like pointing this out to my girlfriend last time we were seeing something that's all the speakers and explaining the different sources and everything.
Yeah, and as you track something left or right, they have ways of tracking that literally across the ceiling. Right, something flies by in the background.
It's just so many. It's crazy. Like, it's easy for people to understand stereo left and right versus mono. Like, that's kind of easy. But like, once you go further than that, it's like, what the fuck?
Which is crazy considering how fucking bad like music has been dumbed down. And I say that in the way that when you think about how many people have gone out and bought a Bluetooth speaker, like how many of the Bluetooth speakers you buy at the store are a fucking single speaker, and it's fucking summed to mono, and I fucking despise that.
And not only that, like even record players, if you buy ones with built-in speakers, no, you have to buy like very specific record players. Most of the record players that all these stores sell these days are fucking shit. They sound worse than like a phone.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they don't sell that in, and so then if you don't have an amp and a system, like you're not getting anything out of it besides the novelty of collecting, which for some people that's enough. But
right,
you're also talking about a whole generation of people that like is growing up thinking Apple AirPods sound good.
Yeah, I don't have any of that shit.
I don't either. I just got some replaced a set of Sony over-the-ear Bluetooth headphones because a pair of mine got stolen.
Yeah, if
I got another set.
Listen to music, I'm definitely using actual headphones. Now, if I'm like, oh, I'm going running or mowing the lawn, maybe some earbuds. But even then, I'm just gonna use some cabled ones. I don't give a fuck about no wireless shit. Just all that means is, oh, that's easier to lose. That's all I'm hearing.
Yeah, I mean, I still use plenty of wired stuff. Obviously, that's what I'm doing here. And to me, the advantage of that is that, yeah, you're getting a better quality.
Yeah, I don't think everything needs to be wireless. I'm kind of annoyed with that. Like, even if you want me to give the ability, sure. But like, I think it should just be able to be wired.
My problem is that the technology is not as good as it should be. Now, granted, Bluetooth technology has gotten better, but like our microphones are plugged in. Like mine has a USB-C, so it's plugged directly into the computer, but I can also use it on a soundboard with the XLR. But I could not use Bluetooth headphones instead of these ones right now because there'd be a fucking lag of our conversation. Right. Just enough to annoy the piss out of you. And it's like, wireless isn't all it's cracked up to be. Like, why is Bluetooth that far behind compared to like wireless in-ear monitoring that bands use for performing, right? The technology is there. It's just not applied evenly across the board.
I don't know. What does that use? Like radio signals, though?
Yeah.
Probably like radio frequencies or something.
So does Bluetooth. So it's just using them a different way. So, but yeah, man, Goonies, good times. Simpler times, I'll tell you that.
The Reagan years, as they say.
Yeah.
I'm
not going to say that shit. I didn't fucking care about politics in the 80s as a fucking kid.
Yeah. I didn't know any better. In the 90s, all I
Exactly.
knew was that the president cheated on his wife.
Well, we knew that Bob Dole is from Kansas, so that was a big deal when he was in, and everyone's making fun of Bob Dole because Bob Dole is from Kansas. So that was kind of a local thing. And then, yeah, old Clinton there, him and his cigars out there partying like a crazy man.
Bill Clinton. Clinton.
Yeah, Clinton.
Yep. Anyway, I think this show has become trifling, so we should probably turn it off. But
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, but we'll be back soon. Like you said, you just covered some Jurassic Park stuff. We're going to cover some Jurassic Park stuff ahead of the Jurassic World Rebirth.
yeah, which again, I'm not super excited for, but like I'm obligated to cover because
As a fan of it, the
yeah.
one thing that's got my interest right now is this T-Rex riverboat scene that we all know is coming because they got a toy for it specifically. It was not in the first movie, but it was in the first book, so they've kind of rewritten it into here. So I'm very excited to see how that sequence pans out, and that's the thing I'm most excited about for this movie right now. And the toys for that looks pretty cool too. I'm like, man, that'd be a fucking dope bath toy. So I'm gonna see if the kids want that for a bath toy, and if they do, I'll fucking get that toy set because it's cool. So, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it, right?
Yeah. I'm
Like you haven't,
I'm just
they haven't had the brains to just do a fucking full on reboot yet, which is what needs to happen. Honestly,
yeah,
if you're gonna do that,
just make a
like-
Netflix series or somebody, even HBO. I don't give a fuck. Somebody to do a series about it though, and each season you can progress things further or whatever. You don't have to do like straight remakes, but like do the plot of Jurassic Park, the book, in one movie or one
season,
season,
yeah, then
and
the
then
second
do
one, yeah. Yeah, get there and make it fucked up. And then hell, I mean, you could even take this season where you have the park up and running briefly if you wanted to, if you still really wanted to carry that idea, even though there's no book material for that.
I mean, sure.
Because Jurassic Park San Diego did not exist in the book.
Yeah.
So, all right, kids. Well, we'll see you back at it soon next week. Probably the same bat time, same bat channel, all those good things. Subscribe, like, all these fun things. If you're not already watching us over on Strange Glow Video, make sure you subscribe over there too, even though we're doing our live show on the Ecto Violence channel. Still going to be doing some toy reviews and other follow-up on the other channel, so it'll still be there.
Next week we'll be talking Jurassic Park, Lost World, and Jurassic Park 3. So
That first trilogy, the good trilogy.
yeah, I like all of those movies.
Mm-hmm. I will say that Jurassic Park 3, I never truly fucking loved. Growing up, there's things about it that just annoyed the piss out of me. But after seeing the Jurassic World trilogy, that movie has grown on me a lot.
Oh yeah.
And I love Jurassic World. The first one I thought was a fun concept, kind of a fun, and that was one of the first like huge legacy sequels, reboot, soft reboot kind of things that they're doing. But man, they beat that fucking dead horse.
Yeah.
So
They're
see
still
what
beating
happens.
it. They're beating it again this summer.
Mhm.
July 8th, I think.
I thought it was July 2nd, but yeah,
Either
little
way.
jacket, green jacket. All right. Well, let's close this thing out, and we'll see you guys, gals, ghouls, whatever you are, next week.
Good night, everybody.